That's just TMI. With your hosts, Dee Dee and Sir Dre. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Dee Dee from That's Just TMI, and I'm here with an unbelievable moment. That's right, it's unbelievable, very unbelievable, unbelievable. Theme song to come soon. I'm working on it. But this week's unbelievable moment is, it stems from everything that's happening in social media with the TikTokers and the YouTubers and all those people that are using these apps and have millions of followers and they're trending. These people, I don't know if you knew this, but they live in a house. There is a TikTok house. So in LA, I think they had, the first one was in LA. It's called the Hype House. And TikTok houses or hype houses are all over the world now. And these houses are for people who have a huge amount of following on TikTok, YouTube, and it was created by, let me get their names. So, okay, here it goes. It says, the collective was formed in December 2019 by 17-year-old TikTok star Lil Huddy and 21-year-old YouTube star Thomas Petro. I think I'm pronouncing it properly. And apparently the article goes on to say that there was also a girl that was a part of it and they didn't include her. But the unbelievable moment, the fact that there are people living in a house somewhere in the world and all they do is create content for TikTok and for YouTube. And they get paid. And we are watching them and we are doing the TikToks. It's crazy. They bought a house and now they have many houses all over the world. I'll put the link to the article in the description below, but they have a TikTok. They have a hype house. And when I first heard that, I was like, really? You can look at it and say, yeah, it's fun because that's all the people who do the same thing that you're doing and you guys are living in a house. So imagine I'm a doctor and I live in a house with all doctors. Okay, I guess we could talk about the same stuff and have notes and compare notes with different situations and stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm a lawyer and I live in a house with other lawyers. Okay, that's cool too. I'm a musician and I live in a house with musicians. Y'all can figure out the names for these houses. But like, I do TikTok and I am so good at it that I live in a house with other people who do the same thing that I do. I mean, it's cool, but I get tired of like doing TikToks all day, every day. Then again, I don't do TikToks at all, so I'm just tired watching them. But that's your unbelievable moment for this week. Just the fact that TikTokers, that's what they're called, TikTokers, YouTubers, and all these other people who have huge followings, which is amazing, and I'm not discrediting their work at all. It's just the fact that, did you know that there was a hype house that they all live in? If you knew, great. If you didn't know, then this is really an unbelievable moment for you. Unbelievable, very unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm serious, like I'm gonna come out with a song because I really like that word. Thanks for watching. Now back to our regular scheduled program. Hey, it's your girl Dee Dee, and I'm reporting to you from North York, Toronto, and I'm standing outside a beautiful house that is for sale. Before I get into this house, I just want to give a shout out to Papa Love Beauty for my lipstick. It be poppin'. Inside we've got a guest. Her name is Britney Brown. She is from Royal LePage Signatures and she's going to take us through a tour and we get to ask her whatever questions we want about real estate. It's really cool. Let's get into it. Before I get in, I gotta put on my mask. Safety first, y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
welcome to this beautiful
come on
home.
in.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good.
So, as previously mentioned, this is Brittany Brown. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Britney. I'm a realtor from Royal LePage. I'm also on the REC team. I've been doing real estate for about 2 years. The reason why I got into real estate is because I want to build legacy through real estate. Alrighty?
That's amazing. Let's go on the tour.
Alright, so over here we have the family room. This house, it's newly renovated, 2 legal duplexes,
Nice.
and it's beautiful. So this is the dining area, and we have a kitchen with waterfall granite countertops.
Ooh. For all of you who've been watching your home decor shows such as, what are they, Property Brothers, this is probably what you've seen on TV.
We also have all stainless steel appliances.
Love it.
Really simple and clear backsplash. We even have the microwave hidden at the bottom.
Ooh, lovely.
And it comes with plugs. And we have even a little place if you want to put your drinks.
Ooh, makes sense.
Okay. And then right on the main level, we have the washer and dryer. And we have a cute backyard, perfect for barbecues and get-togethers. We have a powder room right over here, hidden underneath the stairs. And then if you go right up here, this takes you to the beautiful master bedroom.
Gorgeous home.
Of his and hers countertops and the waterfall shower head.
I'm loving it.
And if we go right over here, we have another washroom for your guest with, again, another waterfall shower head. Everything is brand new and clean. And we have 2 other bedrooms with lots of windows and natural light. Oh, sorry.
Do you guys love the house? If you love the house and you'd like to know where it is, you should let us know in the comment section below.
All right.
But the tour's not over.
This is my favorite part. They utilize every space of this house. And upstairs, they have a nice loft area where you could sit and relax and watch what's going on in the neighborhood.
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that tour. Now let's get into this talk. So, Brittany, tell us a little bit about what you'd need to know to get into the housing market.
So basically, to get into the housing market, you have to be financially ready to be able to afford a house.
Yeah.
So when you're looking to buy a house, you always want to talk to a mortgage broker first. The things that they look at to get a mortgage is your credit.
Yeah.
Usually having a 680 or above is what will get you the best interest rates.
Okay.
And it's not only the credit score they look at how much debt you have. So they look at your debt to income ratio.
Now, I've heard in the past that if I have a student loan that's considered good debt, so that's okay to not pay. Is that true?
It's like, so there is some truth to that. So basically there's something called fixed debt and revolving debt. So revolving debt is like a credit card, right?
Okay.
And usually your interest rate on credit cards are like 19%. Whereas like OSAP, you have a fixed monthly rate that you have to pay.
Yes.
So when the mortgage agent takes that into consideration, like that debt into consideration, they use that amount, that fixed amount that you're paying. But when it comes to like credit cards and stuff like that, they assume a certain percentage of it, and it ends up going against your debt to income ratio, basically.
Okay. So basically, it would be better to pay off my credit cards and just keep my student loan.
I mean, you could pay off the student loan too, but it's better, like student loans are better than, I guess, like credit card debt, basically. But still try to get rid of it, but it's not as bad as you said.
Okay. So as a first-time home buyer, I've seen news reports that say that I could pay 5% for my down payment. Is that true, or is it still the 20%?
So for a down payment, it depends on the price of the property.
Okay.
So if the property is less than 500,000, you could put 5% down.
Okay.
If it's between 500,000 and $1 million, like 999, you know, that number, it's 5% on the first 500,000 and 10% between that 500 to $1 million. And if it's over $1 million, it's 20%.
Okay. So basically, if you're buying a house and you don't have 20%, stick to the 500,000 or less.
Yes.
Because that will be better for you.
Yes.
In terms of your finances.
Or you could do between like less than $1 million.
Yeah.
And that would be the 10%.
Okay. Huh. This is interesting. Now, I don't know how many of you guys knew this beforehand, but as a millennial and trying to get into the housing market, because you don't want to rent forever, these are a lot of questions that I've asked some of my friends, you know, and sometimes you think that they'll know the answer because they're older, but not a lot of people actually have ventured into the housing market, you know. So are there any tips and tools? How can we prepare ourselves outside of the credit score? What else do we need to know so that we can better ourselves and get into the housing market?
I'd say keep an open mind.
Okay.
So maybe you won't be able to get a house in Toronto, downtown Toronto, but maybe looking further out, or keeping an open mind and surrounding yourself with professionals that know what you're doing. So keep in contact with a mortgage agent. Talk to them from now, even though you might not be ready, but they could tell you exactly, they could look at your credit score and tell you exactly what you need to get rid of, so that when you're ready to buy a house, you'll be able to get that mortgage.
Okay.
Talk to a real estate agent to tell you what's going on in the mortgage, what's going on in the market right now. Basically just stay informed.
So I also heard that it's a seller's market. So I did some research. They said it's a seller's market. What does that mean?
That means that, so it's all supply and demand. So right now there's a low supply and high demand. So there's not a lot of houses on the market. The inventory is low, but there's a lot of people looking to buy. So usually when there's a seller's market, that pushes prices up.
Oh, so that's why it's so hard to get into the housing market right now.
Yeah.
Now, was it this high before COVID?
Yes, it was still a seller's market before COVID.
So based on, I guess, your expertise and being in the profession, do you know when it would switch to a buyer's market? Is there any estimate so we can know when to buy?
My opinion,
like stock market, you know,
is the best time to buy is when you could afford it. Because just looking at the history of real estate investments, every 10 years, the house value will double.
Yeah. So
even if you get it now and it's a little high, 10 years from now, it's a long-term investment. It's not something like, if you're planning on flipping houses, then you need to take that into consideration. But if you're planning on investing in real estate, you always want to think long-term.
Okay, that's good. So now I've heard of oh no, I can't remember the term right now. Your house, Lord, I feel like I sound so silly. when you have a house, equity, that's the word. So they said that when you have a house, you'll get equity. So they say get into the housing market, even if it's not your dream house, you just get your foot in there so that you can use the equity to I guess purchase a house or pay off on debt. And what can you tell us, the people who don't know much about housing and the housing market, about equity?
So basically what you said, so if you say you wanted to buy a house and you bought a cheaper house that maybe needed a little more love, and you could either renovate it or you just stayed there for a couple of years, and then basically as you pay down the mortgage and as the value of the house increases, that's how you build equity.
Okay.
And so you could refinance and take that equity out, that money out, and buy another property, or you could sell it, take your profits, and buy another property.
Yeah, and guys, the only thing in this world that appreciates is land. I've come to find that. So your house will always be making money for you. When you're renting a property, that's not making you any money. You're losing money. Your car, as soon as you drive it off a lot, you lose money off of that, right? So it's actually really good to know that if I live in a house, even if it's not my dream house or a house that may need more love, over time, I'll be able to have the funds to use it to get a better house or do renovations and all that stuff. So, outside of the first-time house buyers, what about those who are more experienced, who are in the I guess already in the real estate business and looking to refinance? Have you come into contact with any situation where you probably be like, it's not the best thing to do, or is it always the best thing to refinance so that you'll get more money? Again, I don't really know the market or what this thing is.
It depends. Like if you want to refinance your house to buy a Mercedes, then it's probably not the best financial decision. But if you're going to refinance your house to buy an investment property, or sometimes people use it to pay off debt, but the number one thing I think would be like to buy another property so that you still have your house, you could maybe buy a property and rent that out and add a second source of income. Okay.
And is Toronto, I guess within Ontario, the hardest place to get into the housing market? Like, is it the hardest city to get into? Is it the most expensive in Toronto, or is it anywhere else in, I guess, Ontario?
Toronto's pretty, it's pricey. Yeah, the GTA.
Wow. So if you remember what Britney said, she said, if you're looking for downtown Toronto and you realize you can't afford it, it may be good to keep an open mind and look elsewhere. So is there anywhere that is similar to Toronto? Maybe not so much in terms of the lifestyle where you can go anywhere downtown and find a restaurant or anything like that. But if someone was really set on Toronto, is there a secondary option? How do you sway that person in your real estate lingo? Like, what do you tell them?
If someone wants to live in Toronto?
Yeah, but they really can't afford it.
I mean, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
You tell them, go save and then come back to me in 2 weeks. In 3 weeks, you guys, look at your pockets and stay within your means.
Yeah, live within your means. I'm not going to tell you to go buy something you can't afford.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's one of the worst things, to jump into the housing market and not be able to.
That's my number one thing, being house poor. You don't want to be house poor.
That's actually really good. I like that term too.
And there's a lot of people that are house poor right now, and that just makes me a little wary because any little thing could happen. Like COVID happens. What if they didn't defer your mortgage? Like, what would people actually do, right? So you have to make sure that you're financially ready before hopping into the housing market.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize that outside of the mortgage, you're still paying your other everyday bills. So if you had your car and you're paying your rent, and your rent was cheaper than what your mortgage would be, or maybe even the same, coupled with all the other stuff that you have to pay, and now you have this house and mortgage and all that stuff, can you still balance it all?
Yeah, and like stuff could happen, like you could get a flood, you're responsible for that. Your roof could be leaking, you're responsible to fix that. So there's way more responsibilities when it comes to home ownership versus renting.
So let's talk about the difference between, I guess, getting a condo, so purchasing a condo versus a house. Because you just said there are a lot of more responsibilities in that house. In a condo, those things would be covered.
Sometimes. So it depends on your property manager, but like if something happens, you could tell your property manager. Sometimes they could be like, no, it's your fault. You have to fix it.
Okay.
So it depends.
So there's still that responsibility.
Right. With the condo, there's a little less. You don't have to maybe mow your lawn or shovel the driveway because you pay a maintenance fee. Sometimes your maintenance fee will include some of your utilities. Sometimes it doesn't. So
okay. So have you like steered any clients into any specific way, or once they tell you what they want, you just go by that? So like if I came to you and I said, I want a 3-bedroom and I would prefer a house, but based on all the information I've presented you, a condo may be a better fit. Like, would you sway me that way, or would you say,
I'd sway you to whatever's best for you, for the person. Yeah.
That's really good. And I know that a lot of people have this belief that realtors just want money, you know, so they'll get you into anything so that they can get paid. And mortgage brokers may do the same and all that stuff. So it's really good to know that there are some realtors who do care about your best interest and don't want you to be house poor.
Yeah, because house poor is not fun.
It doesn't sound fun
at all.
It's
like, you're stressed. You can't go on vacation, you know? You're just stuck at home in your house paying bills.
That you probably can't even afford. Yeah. So that's not good. So from what I'm gathering, make sure that you're financially ready to get into the housing market. Make sure that you've done your research. Contact a mortgage broker and a realtor at no charge or any expense to you. The only thing you'll be using is your time just to get the information. And what else am I missing?
Keep an open mind.
Keep an open mind. That's really good. And I feel like if you follow those steps, because I mean, I'm going to follow them, you'll be in a better situation and better able to get into the housing market. Now, if you have any further questions for Britney, we will leave her Instagram and other contact information in the description box below, where you can ask her any questions you want about the real estate market, or you know, how to contact a mortgage broker, or any housing that may be for sale, or whatever you're looking for. So again, guys, if you have any questions, just contact Britney. All her information will be in the description box below. Thank you so much for coming to That's Just TMI to share your knowledge on real estate.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. So guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, click the bell, and if I'm missing anything, do that as well. Next time.
Bye.
Bye.